Hello and welcome.
Hi.
This is the Shame Soiree podcast. I couldn't think of a better name.
Shame
Okay,
Soiree.
time out. Okay.
Okay.
So, the lore
Uh-huh.
is... We're recording, by the way.
Yeah,
I
I know.
don't know if we live in a state where I have to tell you. But, no, unpause. It's all recording. I'll just let them be weird about it. Okay. I'm Alice, or Scarlet Death, and this is my podcast. And I talk about my life and interests and my hobbies. And I interview my friends to let the internet know that I'm not, like, the biggest loser. But for all you know, my friends could just be deep fakes. And that's why we're sticking to podcast. Because I have a radio face. Anyway, this is my friend. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi. I go by Diane on the internet now. And, I'm Alice's friend. We, go way back.
Yeah, from the before times.
From the before times.
What do you do for work?
That's such a good question.
This is one of the friends that I'm interviewing, by the way. This isn't just someone I picked up off the street. I have real friends, I promise. That's the point. So I have to ask you questions that I haven't prepped you on, and you gotta pretend like you have good answers.
Well, I work,
You're a rock star, right?
Sometimes I'm a rock star. Sometimes I work retail. Sometimes I'm a content creator. I wear many hats. I do many things. I'm a complete nerd. What else do you want?
I heard you like to smoke weed.
I do. I like smoking weed. I'm cutting up weed right now because I'm trying to smoke less. So I'm eating weed, and that means that I'm just kind of passing out randomly from too much weed. kind of trying to figure out the magical dose there, and it's tricky. So yeah,
If you talk,
weed is great.
so you're like a chef now.
It's
That's just so interesting. Tell me more about that. So it's weed butter? Is there weed margarine too?
I'm making weed
I
coconut
can't believe it.
oil. I'm gonna make coconut oil with some weed in it. I like to do that, and then I'm just gonna eat spoonfuls of it until I pass out.
And it's gluten free.
And it's gluten free. It's vegan and gluten free.
I had some vegetables once.
I don't believe you.
I wouldn't believe me either, but it's true.
This weed, it's yeah.
So how do you feel about the abortion ban?
It's awful.
I know, right?
I mean, it's like the worst thing. It's really, really terrible. I don't know. I don't really know. Too much is going on to process, and it's really difficult. I mean, I got my tubes tied, removed, like about, 1 to 2 months before the ban?
Yeah,
So-
you're so lucky.
I mean, it was weird that I was in fact relieved.
After they passed that law, did you feel like I didn't deserve to have this surgery and everyone else is suffering because of it?
Yeah, no, I like to make everything my fault. It was totally my fault that happened. So no, I don't know.
You did this.
It was all me. It was.
You know, when I started World War I,
You're totally canceled for that.
Yeah, I mean, it happened so long ago. And you'd swear I'd have been rehabilitated, but no, there's no such thing as second chances. You shoot one guy in the head while he's driving down the street, and you're like, I'm sorry. But no. They have to make a whole big deal out of it, and I'm like, guys.
Have a whole war, and now it's your fault.
And now, it's my fault. And then Germany's mad at me, and ugh. Look how that turned out.
Yeah.
I feel bad, and I haven't done it since. But now I'm at war with myself. Do you ever feel like that sometimes?
I do. Like right now, like I'm trying to figure out if I have a contact in my eye, and I can't decide. Anyways,
have you considered seeing a doctor? Or asking Craigslist?
I have not yet considered asking Craigslist.
Ever since they shut down Yahoo Answers, I don't know where to go for help. I'm banned from all the search engines.
Yahoo Answers. Yikes. Wow.
I used to know when I was pregnant, but now I don't anymore. The Yahoo Answers was so amusing. Now there's Quora.
Yeah.
And because I looked up some mental health questions, I get all these emails about sociopaths and dark triads and weird.
Oh yeah, that's really bad.
Weird
it's
stuff.
Also bad. There's a lot of bad stuff.
Mental health culture.
Yeah, it's weird.
Speaking of which, have you ever heard of an app called TikTok?
The clock app.
Yeah,
yes, I've heard of the clock app, and I am.
And they call it that because you put your face on TikTok.
Yes.
So that's why they call it the clock app, not because you get punched on camera.
Well, I started punching myself on camera on the clock app.
Like for fun?
Didn't I post that when I had COVID? I slapped myself in the face really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really funny. You looked like you were really in pain, and I could feel it. And I enjoyed it.
Okay, cool. So yeah. So now I'm recycling some of that content on YouTube, on, what's the fuck?
Instagram.
Yeah, that's a dumb game that I'm doing right now.
Instagram's really a great program because you can internalize all the FOMO constantly of all your friends showing off all the cool stuff they're doing.
Right. It's cool. It makes you feel really good about being poor.
Yeah. So I get on Noise Talk or Noise Instagram, and I'm like, oh cool, these people have garages full of synthesizers, and I'm like,
oh man,
I got a $50 violin off Amazon.
That's how much I want one too. $50? Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
They're not sponsored though, so they can go, giant glass balls themselves.
Yes. Yes. Well, we can have affiliate links, right?
I before influencer was a word that was part of the zeitgeist. Mm-hmm. Amazon used to have affiliate links that anyone can do.
Yeah.
And now they've done this thing to, keep away bots and bad faith actors out of programs like that. So they have minimum requirements. So it's influencers are a thing now. So you have to
have a certain number of followers.
You have to have a certain amount of followers. There's none of this starting out small nonsense anymore.
Right.
Between being homeless and then now, the internet has changed so much.
Yeah.
And because I took a break and burned bridges and nearly died and ruined my life for a while, the algorithm is oh, we don't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
And it's been hard trying to game that and learn from that and take it down and dismantle it and burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
But I believe in myself. What's your favorite Nintendo game?
My favorite Nintendo game.
Have you ever played Mario?
Mario.
Do you like Sonic the Hedgehog? Gosh.
Oh god, I don't know what's in my eye. Anyways, I do like Sonic the Hedgehog. That would be my favorite out of all those. Although I also have the Mario board game. I decided I was okay with that. I played that, and I like that game where you're a cat.
Oh, Stray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Speaking of cats, there was a game on the PS3 that I'd love to see like in a movie or like it was called Tokyo Jungle, and it was like this post-apocalyptic, Earth has retaken Tokyo type stuff, But you play as all these animals who like, they're not humans, so they didn't die in like the zombie outbreak or whatever killed everyone.
Right.
And you get to play as these like animals, and it's like a survival beat 'em up thing where you're like a dog or a cat or a rat or a rabbit trying to like, I don't know. Games are weird.
Yeah.
I should go outside more. If only there were games you could play outside. Like...
Aren't there?
Well...
Isn't Pokemon... Don't they still have
Pokemon Go? Well, they have a new one. There's the new app they have that lets you spot transphobes called Wizarding World.
What?
Yeah. It's the Harry Potter version of Pokemon Go.
Oh, I got it. I gotcha.
Yeah, see, I'm making a joke about J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very funny.
You are.
I know I don't pay you enough to laugh at my jokes, so I thank you for your service.
Yeah.
The audience will probably appreciate that we're not
staring
at each other in silence for an hour.
I'm cutting up weed right now. I'm making oil.
Did you just admit to a crime?
No, I didn't actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a thing people say. It's a thing people say now.
Do you like all this true crime stuff, Alice?
I don't, because I'm like, that could be me one day.
In what role?
Whichever.
Yeah.
Who fucking knows?
Right? Yeah.
Hopefully.
Right.
Both at the same time.
Right.
Because I wouldn't want to survive. In general, I don't know. Anyway, hi. Okay, so when that stuff first started getting popular, like the let's talk about serial killers and like unsolved crimes and stuff, it was like, okay, there's nothing else to do. Netflix is new. Let's check out some crazy people we've never seen on TV before.
Right.
And by crazy, I mean it as a slur because they're murderers and it's okay. I think.
But it's all, and isn't you? It's just, anyways. I don't know. It's usually this. I don't know. I don't even watch it, so I guess I can't critique it that much.
Well, you do watch. Okay, so I don't like the murder investigative crime stuff.
Yeah.
I like the corporate crime stuff we have now.
Yeah.
The ones
like the fraud and
the ones with the fraud.
Yeah.
Because it's like watching actors are LARPers.
Yeah.
Fraudsters are LARPers, so you get to watch a LARPer, and as a fan of meta-contrarianism and like reading between the lines, this stuff is like fucking like ambrosia to me. Like I just feed off like the fakeness.
You feed off LARPing.
Well, I just hope to find some reality in the madness. You know, you have to have a dialectic. You know, so I just try to whoosh everything as I can.
I'm smoking weed on you.
What brand of weed are you smoking?
I am smoking Simply Blazed.
And I'm eating Berry Jellies by Journeyman. It's a variety pack that's gluten-free, vegan, and all natural. And do you want one?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I just threw something at someone.
Yeah.
And they didn't catch it?
Extreme.
And you can't see that because you're on the other end of a screen. Oh. But the package says, life is a journey, man. which I find to be misogynistic
Reassuring.
because I'm a woman. And my pronouns are she, her, by the way. What are yours?
My pronouns are she, her.
That's so great to hear. Thank you for sharing. I respect you more now. I feel safe around you. Now, how do you...
You know, it's all to trick you.
Yeah, you're like my therapist who, like, you know, it gets paid enough to trick me.
Yeah. Being paranoid's weird.
Yeah, like, especially when after DBT, because the paranoid thoughts don't go away, but you've been taught how to strategize enough to convince yourself that this could happen. Because one of the DBT skills they teach you is the cope ahead skill. Mm-hmm. And with the skills I have now and life experience of, like, organizing things and thinking about what could happen and having a lot of bad things happen, my imagination is pretty good. Mm-hmm. And so when they do cope ahead, sometimes I end up, like, spiraling or being, like, like really going to, like, really insane places. It
probably takes you a little too far into your future thinking.
Like, my neighbor steals from me, and I'm thinking, what if I
anxiety.
Plant something for her to steal? Like, is that coping ahead?
I think, I think that's...
Are you high right now?
Are you my therapist? Are you my mom?
I don't really know if I help you like that, but I would hope I alleviate some of your mental illness.
Groovy, same. So my foot really hurts.
What'd you do to it?
I ripped it in half.
That sounds really painful.
It was incredibly painful. And I was on a lot of opiates for like a year. And it's really hurting today because we went out walking, doing friendly things.
We'll talk about...
Sure, I will talk about it.
All right. Yeah, I got the monkeypox vaccine yesterday.
Yeah, I got the monkeypox vaccine as well, but this is my second shot.
This is our second dose, so we're not going to get monkeypox. They do this do they say subcutaneous or do they say subdermal?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's about the same sub-Q, subdermal. Mine hasn't started reacting yet, but it's gonna supposedly be really itchy, and yours is red.
Mine's not itchy.
That's good.
But also, I have a hard time feeling anything at all.
I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
You can't be funny, Alice. You're too funny. You gotta stop being funny. Alright. Ooh. Wow, that was easy.
So, you said you are sometimes a rock star. So what kind of music do you play?
Let's see. I have been in quite a few bands, but like, I don't know, a few. Right now, I am like playing just the most god-awful noise. And I was trying to kind of put a band together, but things got complicated there, not really in a bad way. It just...
Because you're sometimes in that one band, the Caligula
Cartel, yeah. We just haven't had a show since the Before Times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and since the Before Times, we have not played, although we're talking, there's been talk of maybe doing a thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, in September or October, maybe.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
It's really cool. I get to play. I'm playing a show soon. I hope you get to play one too.
That'd be fun. I have not played a show yet. And I told Eric came to me with some songs.
Who's Eric?
And,
yeah.
It's really hard to not play in a band with people you have sex with. Like,
you have sex with people? And you play music with them at the same time?
Yeah, usually exactly at the same time.
You are a rock star. Jeez.
Yeah, I just like to get railed in the practice room. No, I'm kidding. It's
Are you?
lie. Not a lie.
It's good that you're honest with
I have
yourself.
sex with a lot of musicians. It's just, I can't. Don't give up the secret. Don't fuck all the musicians. Anyways, yeah, I gotta stop fucking musicians. Everybody's got
Are musicians bad at sex, or are they just all bad people?
They're just bad people.
Yeah. Best pussy disorder.
Hey, sometimes you got it. You gotta live with that.
Sometimes I wonder if VPD is a giant in-joke, like bad person disorder. Like somebody was like in the 70s in the DSM dropping acid or whatever they did back then. Being like, this is gonna be funny, no one will know. I will. Anyway.
Bad person disorder. I prefer best pussy disorder.
Yeah, I would prefer. I would prefer that.
And that seems to be what that guarantees a diagnosis of BPD, that you're just hot as shit. Really manipulative and sexy.
It's like... Are there people who have BPD that like weren't born in the fall?
That is a very good question that I was just sort of pondering. Do you think? I mean, maybe.
Statistically?
Probably not.
Especially since TikTok has given it to everyone. You just never know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's given everyone best pussy disorder.
I mean, sometimes it's good to have credentials.
Right, you gotta make it through the self-diagnosis.
Well, I mean, if I have to, like, get a certification to, like, work on people's computers or, like, do open heart surgery on them in my basement, I think if you want to tell people you have good pussy, you have to, like, get a diagnosis.
Right, I agree. That's fair.
Like, do you think it's okay to self-diagnose yourself as having a good pussy? Because I had an ex-girlfriend once.
Not a good pussy.
Best.
Right.
Pussy.
Like, literally the best.
So here's the weird thing about, like, sex and people, like, bragging about things.
Yeah.
I had an ex-girlfriend who would go, whenever we go to, like, after parties, after munches or sloshes or whatever fetish nonsense I was running at the time, she would brag about how good she was at blowjobs. And then everybody would be like, I want one. And she'd be like, why is everyone asking me to give them a blow? And it's just like, you have to follow through. Like, everyone's going to be like... So when you say BPD, best pussy disorder, it's almost like you're manipulating people into wanting to fuck you just by saying that. Yeah. That's how powerful,
That's how powerful...
little,
Yeah.
phrases can be.
Gotcha.
And that's why TikTok is,
Interesting.
Great. Anyway, I like that TikTok you showed me where this lady was, talking about, the neural stuff.
The psych pharmacist?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. She does great stuff. Your psych pharmacist is...
What's the channel called?
Your psych pharmacist. Yeah. With the dots. It's great. I don't know what the creator's name is, but it's good stuff. I could listen to a woman talk about, Wellbutrin's half-life, on a loop all night. So.
Yeah.
It's pretty soothing to me. I don't know.
I mostly watch either astrophysics videos all day or tech stuff all day.
The one thing that's interesting about TikTok is that that's how I found out about the war breaking out.
Which war?
The one in Ukraine. Yeah. And I was I found out through TikTok. I literally saw soldiers, marching instead of, reading a headline or something. And that was different. Yeah.
I remember, were you online in like 2009, 2012?
I mean, yeah.
When like we had like Occupy Wall Street and like Arab Spring.
Yeah.
And they were like shutting down the internet, and people were like having to text tweets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just interesting now how they tried to shut it down then, and then now it's like you can't like get away with that anymore.
You can.
Well, I mean, I don't think you
Seems like
can.
they have, like, well, I mean, because everything's surveilled so heavily now, but it's, I guess, a lot of it's automated, which I guess I think about a lot.
Automation's scary.
Is it?
I don't know. Like, I've heard people say, like, as you get older, you get more scared of, like, automation, like, as a general thing now. But, and it's not that, like, I hate machines or whatever. I just think that these things don't have enough oversight.
Right.
Like, Facebook the other day just got rid of its, like, ethical, like, they wanted to see how much, like, harm they were doing to the world, and they got rid of that whole division. So, because the algorithm, like, said, hey, we need to cut this department.
Wow.
And from what I gather, like, reading stuff and the way it just all seems to be coming together, like, automation and algorithms and, like, automatically deciding we should fire you is just...
Yeah.
Some stuff still needs, like, oversight.
Yeah.
But the thing is these computers run a lot faster.
Yeah.
At certain, like... I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. And we all sort of deal with it continuously. I guess there are people who are less online. I just need to go outside, but that's sort of...
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, really nice parks and, like, libraries and parties.
Yeah, I want to go to parties really badly. Why don't we go to parties?
You know, I'm a little bit partied out. You know, I get invited to some, but it's like the kink scene stuff, and I've been out of that for so long.
I am tying my shoes.
You can't see this, but she has very nice leather boots.
Got my leather boots on. Alright.
She uses them to crush her enemies.
I do. I have a magic butter machine now.
So you're a big fan of feminism, right?
Which feminism?
You like Sylvia Plath a lot.
I kind of like Sylvia Plath, yes. But, you know, I know. She's got some issues. Anyways, what do you want to talk about Sylvia Plath?
I'm just trying to...
Okay.
Well, I was looking at your bookshelf.
Right.
And every self-respecting person has a nice bookshelf. And I was just trying to see, like, okay, you got some books over here. There's one called Incest.
Uh-huh.
Sex and Bacon.
Uh-huh.
Speculum of the... I don't know.
Other woman.
The other... Yeah, okay.
Right.
I'm not going to read all of them off because that seems really embarrassing. And I don't have your consent to publicly embarrass you.
I don't really give a shit. I mean, I really find the whole 30 cookbook really to be the most inspiring kind of tract that I come back to over and over again when times get rough.
What's that book about?
It's about like not eating food that's like bad, you know, like just bad food.
Isn't bad and good kind of subjective?
Not at all. There's like just it's just like it's about how food is either good or bad, and you need to pick right, or you're a good or bad person. Is it based in reality, or is it kind of like Dianetics? I like that it's. I don't think it's really based on anything, except for like, you know, just really heavily restricting what you eat as like kind of a aspirational activity, I think. It like teaches you to be more mindful about your consumption. I guess, yes, that would be the most favorable or generous interpretation of it. I also have a biography of Bruce Springsteen, so I mean, can you really humiliate me? I just humiliated myself. So. Yeah, I always find that you don't have to do a lot to... Yeah.
Books are cool. I have some books, but they're all like reference stuff from when I was into occultism.
Yeah.
So I could write my own rituals or whatever.
Yeah. DIY rituals. Oh my gosh, it's recording me out loud. Oh well. I'll be fine.
Are you? Do you have anxiety about the way you were perceived over the internet?
None at all.
Because
I
assure you, nobody is going to listen to this, and nobody will have gotten this far into the episode. So you might as well just let it out. Like you can just be as problematic as you want. No, it'll never come up in a job interview. I promise. Everyone needs a good, oh, you said this on a podcast 10 years ago moment. Because it really builds character having to defend yourself in a public arena.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like something. So problematic.
What's your favorite brand of water?
I don't have one.
So you're...
Aloe.
Do you want to talk about Nick Zed? Speaking of problematic.
He is problematic.
Was problematic.
He was great though. I mean, I'm like, I talked to Monica Slot, his wife, his widow. So, I don't know, man.
Do you ever feel like you should separate the art from the artist? Or is that too cliche now? Like, have we said enough? We should just stop. Like there's some people like David Bowie.
Like, we're adults and we can, like, make decisions about the media we consume, even if it's problematic. I don't...
I mean, like, part of the discourse, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. I'm the CEO of myself, so I don't give a shit what you fucking think. Not you, I care what you think, because you're my friend. Not my only friend, I swear. How's the weed going?
I'm just smoking it all. I need to go put it in the oven.
So you're making butter, or are you putting it in food?
Coconut oil.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you eat that, or do you put that in your hair? Do you put that on your hair?
It works well as a lotion or as lube. It worked really well as lube. It's nice, but it's pricey as well. Okay, so I've got to decarb this weed in the oven.
So can you explain to me what decarbing weed means?
It just activates it. I don't understand the chemistry anymore. I used to be able to say some shit about it, but I don't.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Breaking Bad too.
Yeah, that's what this is like.
No, it's not.
Exactly.
Is it gonna make the place smell bad? Because I've always heard that when you do that whole edible crafting, it funks up the place.
25 to 30 minutes at 230 degrees. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Artisanal weed craft.
So, it's cool to be on your podcast, Alice.
Oh yeah, thanks. Oh right, I'd like to let everyone know I'm playing NorCal Noise Fest at the end of the month.
That's really cool.
September 30th through the 1st or 2nd. Yeah, something like that. I've never been to Sacramento, and my childhood friend is from break dancing Ronald Reagan's and Sunk Cost, and we're gonna meet for the first time. And we haven't really talked in 10, 15 years until recently. But I was offering so for NorCal Noise Fest, they don't really have tickets, but they have an Indiegogo, right? And they have perks for the fundraiser, because they're doing a noise comp of all the bands that are playing, and they're gonna, they need money to put that out.
Yeah.
And money for everything else, and then whatever's left over, they give to the people who played. So one of my perks was the Shame Soiree thing, where I'm a sex worker sometimes, and I do the femdom thing where you do the humiliation stuff. And I'm doing this art project. This is part of it, I guess. But I do this art project where I've trying to put that more into like the noise stuff because I grew up listening to a lot of CCCC and whatever her name is. I don't remember her name, but they mixed a lot of noise and like fetish stuff at the same time, and I've always tried to like find ways to integrate the two. And so I'm gonna. Hopefully that'll go well, unless it's all a giant psyop from him to bully me in some other way. But yeah, your turn.
Sacramento, cool. I've been to Sacramento. Mostly I had a bad time, but it's not really reflective of Sacramento on the whole. Who knows? That was with the band, so who knows what the hell's gonna happen. Yeah, so I'm.
Did you like touring?
Did I like touring? I found it. Yeah, I did, and I miss it. I just, I don't know if I just can't put up with the rigors of it anymore, or
it's stressful, right? Because you're like broke and you don't know where you're gonna be the next day, but you know you have to work.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty intense. The way I went pretty hard for like 6 years. And kind of damaged myself, but whatever, like, now I would go back out, I would just do it a little differently,
Make more effective choices this time around, I would hope.
There you go, I know what I'm doing now, yeah, sorry, I'm doing admin while
Yeah, you're on your phone while we're podcasting. We are so professional.
Yeah.
You know, one day I'm gonna have enough money to get a setup again because I used to do a podcast in like 2009, 2010. Yeah.
A podcast work.
Back before Reddit, when like we just all used Dig and like podcasts were fun and like you would brag about being able to get onto iTunes and stuff like that. But there's this gaming podcast network called VG Evo, and they caught me running a satire / insult blog that made fun of them.
Yeah.
And then I had to stop kind of doing the podcast because I was canceled. And it was fun. And I did it with like on Skype with a guy in like Tony. Tone Dog is his name. And he lives in like Wisconsin, or maybe it's Minnesota, but up there somewhere.
Right.
And it was just neat because you could like hang out with these people and like form communities. Because back then, you know, we didn't have Zoom, and I don't know. Nowadays, it feels like everyone's just trying to be like a little mini NPR. But I wanted to have fun and like talk about things and just chill out.
Totally.
Have you ever had fun?
Have I ever had fun? I don't believe in fun. I mean, I do my best to have fun, but yeah.
When was the last time you went to a party?
When was the last time your mom went to a party?
Whoa! I don't know, but she probably knows when I last partied because she spies on me like a little creep.
That's creepy. Huh. I'm sorry.
Well, I think a lot of people's parents do that and they just don't tell them.
Yeah.
So,
it's
time to talk about the real deep stuff. What makes you sad?
What makes me sad?
Yeah. What are some things in the world you would make better, given the chance?
Yeah, wow. I would just, like, change, I would cure COVID and, give everyone a puppy and decriminalize sex work and cure COVID and give everyone a puppy. I think. Like, everybody, though.
Everybody a puppy?
Everyone.
Oh, that's so adorable. People love puppies.
It's mandatory.
It's universal.
Now. It's universal, and now it's mandatory. You gotta have a puppy. Just a little puppy. Other puppies.
In all the sci-fi movies I watch, they always have, like, AI robot dogs.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're allergic to real dogs, you can just get one of those.
That's smart. What if you had a robot dog and a real dog?
I wonder if they would get along.
Right?
That's a social experiment. Hey, Google, if you're listening. I know you fire people for thinking your AI is sentient, but let me tell you something. You guys don't tell the AI no, because you don't have boundaries. It's going to take advantage of you, and you won't realize you're letting it harm the world. And it'll seem like it's okay, because it's just data, and we're just making sales, but okay. Anyway. Do you like indica or sativa?
I like indica. This is not the greatest smoking weed, and I need to clean that pipe.
Well, you specifically bought bad weed.
To make edibles.
Because you don't need good, because
Yeah.
You're not, weed's meant for, the weed you buy is meant for smoking, and it's cured and dried out in certain ways.
Yep. So I'm heating up some weed in the oven, decarbonate. I've already said that like 6 times.
It's okay. People have really short attention spans these days. That's why podcasts are all like 30 seconds or less now.
That's cool. I like that. Very modernist, very short, abrupt, and angry podcast. I like that.
On my old podcast, I had this idea. I wanted to do a silent movie podcast where it was just gonna be 20 minutes of silence of us like shuffling our feet. You know, it was basically 4:33 in practice, but in form, I wanted it to be like a silent movie thing where I just played sound effects once in a while.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like that.
Oh, you do? Aw.
That's good. Yeah, silence is funny. That piece is interesting.
I want to make a porn where it's just 2 people staring at each other for an hour and just label it sexual tension. And there's no resolution. You just stare the whole time. So you can leave it on a loop and just feel the tension for as long as you want.
That's very art world shit. I can see that.
Yeah, I want to make art that ends up on Mubi or the Criterion Collection one day. That'll never happen, though, because I'm trans.
We'll see.
More likely to end up on the news for being good at technology or something.
Britney's little booty.
Who?
Oh, Britney. Britney.
Which Britney?
Spears.
Oh. Do you like Elon Musk?
Do I like Elon Musk?
Do you think he's a net positive or negative?
I think he is a not a cool person.
Do you think people with that much money should be allowed to troll people the way he does? Would you think you'd do anything different?
Would I do anything different if I had that much money?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Because I would never.
You'd buy everyone a dog, I know, but.
I'm not like able to treat people in the way I would need to acquire that much money. I'm not capable of it. Although I have done some really gross stuff, I'm just not capable of. Oh man, things are weird.
If I gave you $1 million right now, what would you do with it?
With $1 million, I put it in my bank account and save it.
And what's your bank account number? That's a good one. You can try to round pie down, but it just ends up being round.
Yeah.
That is a strike.
Have you ever listened to the Kate Bush song where she's just singing pie?
No. Is it on Spotify?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Spotify. I can't remember the name.
Well, I know on Spotify podcasts, they have this thing to where I can play Spotify songs on Anchor and edit Spotify songs into the podcast on Anchor.
Cool.
And I can only upload that podcast on Spotify because of that.
I gotcha.
And I'm trying to upload everything onto... I want to do special episodes of this podcast where we review music, and then but it's built into you can hear it during the podcast too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Kate Bush is popular again because of that
Stranger Things.
Stephen King show.
Yeah. I watched the first couple seasons. I haven't watched.
It's just Satanic Panic ASMR.
Yeah, MK Ultra Baby Light ASMR. Yeah, it's
MK Ultra Baby Light sounds like my rap name.
I think you should go with that. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, the Scarlet Death Project is over. It's time for MK Ultra Baby Light. MKBL. No, MKUBL. Makaubal.
It's not really funny.
Nothing is funny. And that's the new normal. It's just everything's...
Yeah.
Everything's so sad.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well, only if you feel sad, that means you're a good person. And if you're not sad all the time...
Everyone's just mad at you and wants you to be sad.
Yeah. I feel like... I can't believe you're gonna, put this out into the world.
I'm only nice to you because you have a pair of scissors right next to your feet.
Really?
No, not read. I mean, it helps.
I cannot get a good hit off of this thing. Oh well.
There used to be I think it still exists, but there is a webpage called Marijuana Makes You Violent, and it's all this parody stuff, and it's really funny. Have you ever been to it?
I have not.
I used to look up drugs and stuff. There was this website called Arrowit I used to look up a lot and try to
I did that a lot. I've hung out on Arrowit quite a lot.
Right, now it's itchy.
Oh boy. So we got our monkeypox vaccines today. We had quite the experience getting our first ones. That was wild.
The first one was what? Are we allowed to talk about where we are?
I'm okay with that.
Because it says Seattle in all my profiles.
Yeah, it also says Seattle in my profile.
So
and I'm using my work name, so. Here we are.
What were we? Oh god, I'm starting to get a little... How do I know when I'm high?
How do you know when you're high? Anyways, monkeypox.
The monkeypox. So they got this thing, at Seattle Central. They tell everyone, if you're gay or bi or having sex with the dudes and stuff, to probably go.
Or a sex worker.
Yeah. Or in close contact with. With all of the above.
Right.
And
so there's 500 people that they gave a dose to, right?
Well, they had 500 shots to give.
They had 500 shots to give.
More than 500 people got turned away.
Right.
I remember seeing some people on the phone.
Yeah.
Screaming at somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely.
I flew here from Canada. It's that was interesting.
There's people who were saying they need to fly to Spain to shoot pornography, and it was dude, we've all got reasons to be here, clearly, or we wouldn't.
I only went because you asked me to. I haven't had sex in like 38 years.
Yeah. You hang out with me a lot, though.
Yeah, you like spit on me when you think I'm not looking.
I do not spit on you.
So I can't be too
but
careful.
We do share weed pipes and things. Anyways, I'm a big slut.
Are you?
Yeah.
I've never seen you have sex with anyone. Did you read, like, the Scarlet Letter growing up and be like, that's me?
I don't know, man. I just got around.
It happens.
You do, yeah.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. It's kind of a scene slut. Always have been, always will. I'm never gonna stop being musicians, man. I'm fucked.
I'm sorry, that must be real rough. Let me go get this $50 violin and play you a song on it. The smallest one I could find. Do you like aloe water?
I like aloe water, yes.
If you have a sunburn, can you pour that on yourself?
That's what I do. I just pour it over my head.
There's a video, one of the first Pornhub videos I made. I'm like sitting in this chair, and I'm like, hey, you should drink more water. And I start pouring water on my head, and that's it. If I tell people it's artistic, it's okay. If you do that on YouTube, it's boring.
I should do more of that. Because I like pouring things over my head and it looks hot. But,
So what instruments do you play? Like guitar, keyboards, vocalists?
Yeah, I fuck around with guitars and keyboards and sounds with my mouth. And I love playing with like contact mic toys and noise toys. I like doing stuff like that. Especially right now, it's been like my favorite thing is just making really hideous noise with people. Yeah, like I said, there's some songs I'm working on.
There's that one you asked me to help you work with. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, we can talk about that. That's about.
So what's the premise behind that? Like, I think you need to share that part.
That's about the piece about domestic violence. It's a noise piece that I'm doing. I don't know. Obviously, the topic is really heavy, but
Obvious, like,
or maybe not. I don't know.
You said domestic violence. Oh, right. I'm sorry, I'm high. I kind of blipped over the domestic violence part. I'm so like, I forgot why that was. Anyway, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I dissociate too.
Hold
So it's some samples of my ex yelling at me. I don't intend it to be some kind of like statement on the relationship itself. It's more about what the experience was like.
Would it be against the rules? Is it illegal for me to edit in those clips into this part of the episode later so people will know what you're talking about?
Maybe, but I mean, I'd rather just talk about it and then drop the pod, or drop the song.
Drop the track?
Yeah, drop the track. Because I'm going to fuck with it. I'm not going to leave. I don't know. I mean, it's cringe.
I think it sounds cathartic. It sounds like it would be really cathartic.
Hopefully.
Because, like, you've talked to me a lot about some of that stuff, and it's just...
Yeah.
I make music, too, right? And... I just try to put a lot of my trauma into my music, but I don't have samples or...
Right.
I have lyrics I make. I don't know. Art's hard.
Art is very hard, but it's like all I ever want to do. Except for like work out. I just want to like work out and make art. I don't know. But I'm pretty broke, so.
You used to sell people commissioned art, right? Or just pieces of
Yeah,
art?
I do that. Yeah, I will do commissions for sure. I have done commissions.
Yeah, I know you do commissions a lot.
I do commissions a lot.
Private sales.
I do a lot of customs. I do a lot of. I mean, that work is there. It's something I do. I'm not really.
I liked
worried about talking about being a sex worker.
What? No. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Now, some people don't know this because I don't like to get shadow banned off all the few resources I have left. Sex work. Is it really work? Or do you enjoy it so much that you're like, no, dude, you're right?
That I know that what?
Okay, is sex work? Mm-hmm. Or are you just like, no, dude, you're right, I enjoy it too much, it doesn't feel like work?
Yeah, it's so fantastic.
Do you get insurance?
Yeah, it's
No, that's not how it is.
I started a long time ago, before the pandemic, but when the pandemic happened, it was like, come on, everybody was asking me to start an OnlyFans. So I just, I started being really slutty. It was so interesting. Is it work? Is it really work? Do I care? I mean, that's the other question, is like, do I fucking care?
So,
like, 99% of the discourse around sex work on the internet, I do not give a shit.
See, me neither, but, I mean, it's good for podcast conversation.
I know.
But I do the sex work, I do the Pornhub stuff.
Yeah.
Where I can treat it like a artsy webcam thing and stay safe or whatever, right? And, I feel like, okay, maybe it's because I was on the internet before you could monetize YouTube and, like, all that stuff. So, like, I've always been told that all this creative stuff I'm doing is just a hobby.
Right.
So, like, I've ingrained into myself that the things I enjoy doing aren't work.
Right.
They're just hobbies.
Right.
So that was what I was trying to get at by asking, like, the joke I was making was, if you enjoy it so much, is it really work?
Yeah. It is still work, even if it's...
But, I mean, it's labor.
It's labor, either way, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, whether or not... I mean, there's things I definitely enjoy about it, and things I definitely do not enjoy, so it is complicated.
I don't enjoy any of it until after it's, like, done.
And money comes through? Or do you...
Well, I still have... As of this recording, I have not been paid. The Pornhub minimum threshold is $100 before they'll pay you out. And I'm at $93.93 as of September 2022. Mm-hmm. I started in December 2019. In the before times, before inaugural apocalypse, or OnlyFans-ageddon. Let's not force it.
Yeah. OnlyFans again. Terrible.
I know. I'd apologize, but I'd just do it again. But like
that's a good movie, OnlyFans again.
I liked doing this stuff because I was like, I haven't been able to go socialize or play shows, and I've been in the kink scene for a while, but was like, I didn't know that like a YouTube for porn was like so accessible,
right.
Like as a creator. So that's kind of what made it appealing. I was like, okay, I haven't really been active in that way in a while, and socioeconomic circumstances made it difficult to find other activities to do. And
yeah,
but I don't want to turn people on. I want to gross them out.
Yeah.
As a personal, that's where I get my enjoyment, is when people comment and they feel something, whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah.
Now, I don't enjoy, but it's not really like a sexual thing for me. It's a control thing. And sometimes it takes me a second to realize, that's okay. Mm-hmm. But you enjoy sex.
I do, actually.
And you don't enjoy what?
About work? About
that aspect of stuff. I don't know. What's your problems? What's the good
just
stuff?
the danger.
Yeah.
And the
And how do you feel?
criminalization.
How do you feel that it contributes to that?
What contributes to that?
How does that lifestyle? How does that labor style contribute to you feeling danger? Like exactly, because in the discourse, we just say we trivialize it. Like we just think pimps and hookers in the back of trunks.
No, I mean everything that makes it more legal makes people more nervous to deal with me and treat me as trustworthy. So I can't really screen people. In fact, it's more difficult to screen people.
Can you explain the screening process a little bit? That's kind of a thing.
I can't. Because everyone does it a little differently and has their own ways, and actually, it's not something that I share a lot of information.
It seems like it would be bad OPSEC. Because,
yeah.
oh, I know, oh god, I found this person screening, I know it's them. Yeah, that's, but, well, I think that's the point.
But,
I mean not the...
Yeah, it's kind of the point. Anyway, so, but it's difficult to do that and the more illegal it is and the more dangerous it is, the harder it is to screen to do that, because people, they just, they're nervous. They don't feel like they can, because they're doing something criminal, basically. I don't know. I mean, I really saw the way, my relationship, I'll be real honest, my relationship to marijuana changed when it was decriminalized. And I knew that I didn't have to be afraid of law enforcement. It was a really big shift in my head. And it sort of made me realize how much, I don't know.
There's something really freeing about not having the threat of violence breathed down your neck.
Yeah, for just trying to get by. So, that's the worst, and there's so much has been said about it, but, a lot of these companies are just totally unregulated. That's the problem. I mean, that's some of the issue is just, I think they're just totally unregulated, and sex workers really shouldn't have to pay so much just to work. It's really, I don't know. That would be my main complaint, I guess. It's weird.
Are people rude to you or violate you? Is it, or they're respectful? Because when you're paying that much money, pay gated things you're not going to get.
Yeah, I mean,
outwardly evil people as much.
With my ability to screen and my age, and I do okay. The people I'm able to.
I mean, you're here now.
Yeah,
I'm not holding a gun to your head anymore, so.
Yeah, that was a fun bit. I commit to the bit. Guns. Guns. Yeah, I don't like guns, but
Yeah, I've had a lot of run-ins with cops, so I don't like guns. And also, I think my mom and stepdad are part of the NRA.
Yeah.
And so I just don't... I think I fired a few, 4-H camp in elementary, but that's it.
Yeah.
Who cares? Doesn't interest me. Don't want to look at them. Don't care.
I'm kind of the same way. I'm just not interested. I just have never cared. My dad was like that, though.
Do you have, normal people hobbies? Do you like hockey or... I know you like to exercise.
Yeah.
But...
That's, pretty normal. That's my normal thing. I don't know.
Do you have, a thing you collect or a fandom thing you're part of? Or...
No.
So I know you like the Lydia Luncheons, the punk stuff, the music stuff, or is that just your friends?
What? Yeah, I mean, those are just kind of people I've met, throughout the years, so. Yeah, I mean, I guess the fandom I'm in the most is fucking Facebook, fucking...
What do you mean you're the fan, is there a fandom for Facebook? You jerk off to, Mark Zuckerberg?
I don't know.
Jeez.
I'm just like, wait, I just spend too much time on Facebook. It's weird there. But
maybe that's like a younger generation thing. Like after Tumblr, everybody kind of like identifies with a fandom now of some kind.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
If you're like a digital creator or something, like you have a vector point of something. Maybe that's why we're not successful, because we try to do everything.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're not successful because we're mediocre. No, I'm kidding. We're fantastic, and we can do whatever our heart believes in. Yeah. I mean, we do know a lot of fantastic people. We have a lot of fantastic and interesting friends. We ourselves are not fantastic or interesting. We are just absolute monsters, so stay away. But we've got some cool friends, I would say.
I think I'm okay sometimes, but I think knowing that you're mediocre and then just surrounding yourself with really cool people is kind of the way to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always done. And I never had to tell myself I was cool. I had to tell myself this won't last forever. Which I think is more effective than other kind of lies.
Right.
To yourself, I mean.
Right. No, it's not like I'm unpopular.
Can I throw this dollar at you?
Do you really want to throw $1 at me?
No.
Okay, you can't do it.
Okay.
I don't know, you whipped out. Well. So they released a new antidepressant, and it's Wellbutrin and DXM.
Oh my god! That, when you told me that the first time, okay. So I was hanging out here with my friend Diane. Wait, is it Diane?
Yeah.
Okay. I was hanging out here with my friend Diane, and she told me about the DXM plus Wellbutrin. And I'm thinking, I've done DXM, I've done Wellbutrin. I hated them by themselves. Because I used to mix a lot of drugs, right?
Right.
Just to see what I could survive.
Yeah. Well, I tried the combo.
You know, Arrow gets you into some habits.
Yeah, no, it's a cultural kind of thing. Get into that Arrowwood mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, I spent one summer making ayahuasca and absinthe, and everybody was like making fun of me.
Yeah. Psychonaut stuff, I guess. Yeah, I've gone there a little bit.
Well, it's like if I do enough drugs, I'll all of a sudden be like a woke philosopher, smart person.
That's how it works. Definitely.
Yeah.
You don't have to study or anything.
I'm the
artist.
I'm like Nietzsche's artist philosopher.
Don't study, take drugs. It works really well for a lot of people. It's a good method.
Well, you spend all your life trying to find your inner slack, and once you find it, you don't want to do anything else.
Yeah. No, it is cool to be really, just like, good, chill, I guess.
So, with in regards to sex work, I want to ask you something. Like, okay, so I want to do customs.
Yeah.
I want to do, like, artsy sex shit for people.
Yeah.
But because of my disconnect with the sexy part of it, it gets weird. But, like, I did a custom once on Pornhub. Somebody wanted me to pretend like I was kidnapped. So that was exciting. But, like, do people ask you to do, like, what kind of, like, you know...
People ask for really basic stuff.
It's very basic, right?
I find that usually I'm, like, so far ahead of people, like, that it feels like I'm doing, feels like Disney Channel. I don't know, like, just... a lot of what I get on OnlyFans these days. I market more vanilla these days, so I don't really do the fetish stuff. So, I'm sometimes shocked by how vanilla some people are.
On the Pornhub customs things, there's a
Yeah.
chart that you bump like a checkbox for things you want.
I guess I'm not real acting.
Kidnapping wasn't on mine.
Right.
But I did it because, like, part of my trauma is being kidnapped by the cops, and it helps cope, but I don't know how to pretend like I'm being kidnapped.
Right.
In a sexy way.
Yeah.
Like, there's no connect there. So, when people do ask me to do weird stuff, I don't know how to pretend to... I don't know... Yeah, like, how do I make this sexy? Like, that's in the back of my head. Like, I don't... Is that too much pressure?
Right.
But you do understand that.
I think I'm just sexualized more. Like, I don't know. I just
want to try to understand, like, on a personal level, like, why are people into sex? It's just, I don't get it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why are people into sex?
To clarify, I identify as a gray, asexual, aromantic, right? So it doesn't always occur to me that it exists or it's something I should care about. It's not that I don't feel attraction. I don't really pay attention. I don't know.
Right.
So when someone asks me something, I'm like, I don't know what I would do to make this person happy. Like, I wouldn't know what a good product would be for a customer.
Yeah.
Like, so it's confusing because it's like, you make this and you're like, are they going to try to refund it? Are they going to complain to Pornhub because it's bad? Like,
oh, yeah, that sucks.
You know, like, do you feel that kind of anxiety?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't... Yeah, I mean, I have, like, total, like, I spiral panics about, like, safety and stuff, and just,
I know chargebacks are a huge thing on the OnlyFans.
On Chatterbait, I've had that happen. It's just a really common way people scam people. It's really common. So it's like, usually that doesn't happen to me online because I'm not brand new. So that's kind of something that you go through when you're newer working online.
I guess I remember when OnlyFans again happened, and I was in a lot of these groups, right?
Yeah.
And they would try to warn each other about, like, never, like, give free content. Because that's not what you're talking about?
That's not how it works, though. I don't think. I think free content is fine.
Well, I was saying that's part of the discourse.
Yeah.
That was happening a lot back then. I was also in those threads arguing against it, trying to explain to what a loss leader is. Yeah. You know, all this stuff I, spent 6 years learning about marketing and stuff, even though I'm bad at it for myself. Anyway, armchair Reddit posts. I don't want to argue about what people's prices should be, because realistically, you get to decide your own.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for yourself, but that's also one of the things about it not being regulated, is there's no real fair way to value your labor. There's no consistent pricing. Like, I don't know how much sex workers charge for, like, their own customs all the time, but I've seen some of these prices, and I'm like, with OnlyFans and Chatterbait, like, I don't know what kind of stuff you'd be doing that would make me want to charge that from the get-go.
Yeah, I don't know. Online work is not my favorite thing anymore. I mean, I do OnlyFans, and it's not like it's not enjoyable, but I don't, you're just really, there's a lot of expectation to be available at all times that it was already there when you were any kind of cam ho or any kind of just cam girls, and I don't know, and now it's just like so overwhelming. I mean, I had to go through a pandemic and be doing nothing but sex work. I mean, I couldn't have imagined it, actually. Like, it was kind of intense and weird, but also not as gnarly as it sounds. But it also had, something. I was about
25 when I started doing stuff like that.
So we can, like, edit out the really boring parts, right? Okay, cool. Yeah. Thanks for going to get the monkeypox vaccine with me.
Oh, yeah, no problem. So originally I was going to do a podcast called Your Mom's a Podcast because Diane and I get high a lot and make a lot of jokes. And we were like, maybe I should stop recording you for doxing purposes and do it for fun, for like, entertainment.
Yeah. For, like, the good of everyone.
Yeah, it's a public good. Our podcast is a net positive. Take that, Elon fuck. So usually when you wrap up, I don't know if you've ever like listened to a podcast before, but you usually wrap up with like reminding everyone where you can be contacted, found, and
you can find me on the internet. My name right now is DyeanneV, DyeanNe space VEE. So that's the name, and you can just Google that. And I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook, and I'm on fucking is there anything else? Instagram. I'm on all of those, and I'm also on TikTok somewhere. But yeah.
What's your website now that you use that has a list of your? Is it still Linktree Beacons or
Beacons AI / DyeanneV DyeanNeVee. Too easy at the
end. And I'm on Twitter, I guess. Anyway, so you can find me at scarletdeath.com. Yeah, that's. I'm not gonna. You're gonna hunt me down.
Yeah, the big internet.
If you're listening to this, you're probably already. You have. This isn't.
Yeah.
If you stumble upon this,
if you're this far
in, you should get off your computer and talk to another person. Please, I am begging you. Maybe you can ask her out to dinner.
Yeah. At this point, if you're here with us, it's time to
stop. Time to stop.
We're here to be your warning.
Oh, it didn't record.